right, good evening. How is everyone doing? I'd like to take the time to welcome you to another Morning Glory Apostolic Prophetic Center video. Of course, I'm your host, Hubbard. And today, or this evening, we're going to do a message entitled, It is Finished. It is finished. And we're going to be in John chapter 19. And what many of us have to understand is that every good thing comes to an end. And with many of us, because we can't understand the pain, the hurt, the embarrassment, or whatever things that we go through, we often try to find things uh, to replace what we are going through. And many times we find ourselves in a place of settling for less than what we need to have because we didn't want to go the distance in the pain. And a lot of us, because we refuse to say we hurt, we refuse to say we embarrassed, we refuse to say how things was traumatic to us, we find objects of emotional healing and emotional balance or things that give us an identity that we couldn't find within ourselves. So we go to John chapter 19, we're going to start with verse 22. And it says, Pilate answered, what I have written, I have written. We have to understand that just because somebody say something about you, that's not who you are. Just because people want to attack your character, tear down your name, that doesn't mean that's who you are. Because Christ has already died for that. And what we got to understand, what he had written the King of the Jews. Uh-huh. So the religious leaders, they didn't want Christ to have that title. But what we got to understand, that if God has named you, ain't no devil in hell can defile. See, let's look at me, because this my video. See, they didn't call me a husband, but God called me one. They didn't call me or see me as a man of God. God did. They didn't see me as a friend. God did. They didn't see me as a helpmate. God did. What did how we know God did it? Because anything anybody know about me, whether right, wrong, indifferent, sin, bondage, the question I got to ask, why am I still being elevated and everybody else at the same place? I got a secret around here. And that secret is a relationship with God. And see, what I'm trying to get many of you to, if you cannot see, hear, or understand people in the spirit, they don't need to be around you. And for some of you, I, you know, I've been telling y'all for 3 or 4 years, I said, God is building a spiritual ark. I said, you got to be in the spirit to see it. And now we see the latest apostles and prophets coming out. Now they all of a sudden said, now, this is the key. And this is why I teach y'all what I teach you. Why is people just now saying something Brother Hubbard said 3 or 4 years ago? how many years ago? 4 years ago. We've been talking about this spiritual ark for 4 years. Because when God finna do something nationwide, it's 4 years out. If he gonna do something on the earth toward people, it's 3 days out. If he finna move in the spirit, it's right then and there. Late last night, did anybody see what I said late last night? Let me go find it. I'm finna teach you some. Let me see if that, because it just dropped in my spirit, because I don't remember what I said, but it was late. Let me see if I can find. Because see, that's why I told y'all when God speak to you or show you something, count how many days out so you can see uh uh what's going on. God dang it! All right, let me go here. Let me see. Wait a minute. Let me go here. Hold on now. Don't lose me, y'all. I got to show y'all this. See, you got to understand what time we in. On thing. I'm down here and this internet so slow, boy. Let's see if I can find it on this darn phone. God dang it. This darn internet it ain't even worth a woman. You did. I think I put it on. Y'all know I got more than one page. Let me find it. Because I'm trying to tell you something. Uh yeah, that. Let me see if I can find it. 14 hours ago. Y'all count back because it was late in the night, but I think I had woke up. I don't know. I said if Kamala picks Tim Walz, pack your go bags, leave everything, and build your defense system. This is not a drill. Trump, we got motion. Guess who she picked for vice president? See what you got to understand about me. I don't care what you call me. I don't care what you think about me. I don't even care if you catch me in the act of adultery. One thing you got to understand, I'm God's man and ain't nothing nobody can do about it. So I can't do that about it. Why I can't do that about it? Because I don't care about nothing. See, we're in a season that some of y'all are finished in the natural, but you can't grab hold to the spirit. So that's why you sitting around like you lost your best friend. That's why you assuming things in your mind. That because see, Satan is picking in your mind. He telling you things about people that's not true. Y'all believe in things that people are true. It because God trying to see. We got to go back to what I was teaching on, y'all. What I was teaching on the threshing floor. We're gonna go back to that. So the question was made: if I'm no good, why does God keep talking to me? That's the kicker. I already tell people I'm messed up. I already tell people I make mistakes. But at the end of the day, still say what God tell me to say. What are you saying? All right. Verse 23 it says, then the soldiers, when they had crucified Jesus, took his garments and made four parts. What I've been telling y'all the last 4 days. We gave you an illustration in today's message this morning on that number four. But let's keep going. To every soldier a part, and also his cloak. Now the coat was without seam, woven from the top throughout. So now Jesus dead, but they took his clothes. And not only did they take his clothes, they split it in four parts. Every soldier apart. But they took his coat. But his coat didn't have a seam. See, y'all missed this. His coat didn't have a seam, but it still was woven from the top throughout. You ever had, listen here, I got a seed, but it's woven together. You get what I'm saying? So you got to understand it's crucial that you pay attention that his coat didn't have a seam, but yet and still, it was threaded together. That because it ain't no distance between us and God when we're no longer in the flesh. See, they had to tear the coat in four parts because it symbolizes the flesh. It symbolized what God had to do when Adam and Eve clothed themselves. So what it symbolized is what happened. They tried to cover up their pain. They tried to cover up their embarrassment. They tried to cover up their sin, but yet your sin still remain until you let God cover you up. See, that's why I've been teaching y'all how I've been teaching y'all. I told y'all about imputed righteousness. I told you about not saving tea. I told you about talking people because to get in the spirit, you got to be light. See, they stripped him because he was going to the spirit. He had to be light. And the reason why a lot of you are not getting close to God, you don't want to be stripped. And you know what the sad thing is? I done told people for 4 days. 4 days I told y'all. I said my secret is that I don't value nothing. I don't even value life itself. Why I don't value life itself? I'm finna help y'all with them suicide spirit. How the suicide spirit is teaching you not to value life. And if you got a relationship with God, He gonna tell you you can't give up your life unless I give you. And so that's why a lot of y'all deal with it, but God often stops you. How many times have I rode a highway and I hear that spirit say, I bet you want to ride over that guardrail, bet you won't run in that tree, bet you won't run down that hill. I used to contemplate, still do. But you know what happens? No, I can't do that. I said, God, please don't let me leave this earth until I know my son can take care of himself. The suicide spirit taught me not to value life, which means that's why some prophets go through it. But because you're not under the right teaching, and they can break it down for you, a lot of people commit suicide. Judas didn't have to commit suicide. Judas valued life. He valued life. They said, therefore, among themselves, let us not rend it, but cast lots for it. Who shall it be? That the scripture might be fulfilled, which said, they parted my raiment among them, and for my vesture they did cast lots. These things, therefore, the soldiers did. See, a lot of you, your story already been written. But because you want to script yourself of the flesh, that's why you get mad. That's why you get angry. That's why you get depressed. That's why you come out and break your heart. That's why you went, listen to him. Don't value nothing. They value his reign, but they only valued it because it was already made value by God. I don't value a marriage. I don't value a relationship because what I told y'all. Anything that you have of value Y'all don't understand Satan and his imps, he watches what you do. That's why he knew the right time to talk to Eve. He gets you in a place that you're lonely. He gets you a place that you're wishing and thinking for something, and he started putting things in your mind. Yeah, he started putting it in your mind. Now you're looking at somebody else's wife. Now you're looking at somebody else's husband. Now you're cheating. Now you're drinking. Now you're sniffing that powder. And for what? Because you don't want to deal with life. I done told y'all for 4 days. And watch this. And people calling me and saying things like, you get what I'm saying? Like you trying to, it's like people trying to make me give them value. Can't give you value. The only person give you value is God. And when, watch this now, what did I tell you? And when God gives you value, then you have value to me. But your value is only how I see you in the spirit. If you ain't connected in the spirit, you ain't no good to me. Because God got something for me to do. And I don't need nobody wishy-washy. I don't need nobody stingy. Do you know it's a full-time job for me? I had to text somebody this morning. He said the reason you feel God asking for something costly is because what you want is priceless. Blah, 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 because this personal, so all y'all got to know. I, you know, you know. Now, guess what they said? That word really heals the alt. I was feeling God did not value, we're gonna say my feelings. That ain't what it said, but this pride. That's why I was getting so angry over the situation. Angry. See, so watch this. Talking about value. This a person that God thought he thought that God didn't have any value about how he lived, what he wanted. What I had to tell him. One word healed his whole heart. That's why you ain't got to listen to me because I'm already proven. And guess what? I think this one in a whole nother country. Y'all can't even give words of healing to the people right in front of you. That's why, that's why I don't value people who think they know me, who think they got me mapped out. You have no clue what I can do. You don't have no clue what I know. You don't know, watch this. You don't know what some of you don't know. The word I got to heal what you're going through, but you got to admit something. You got to admit something. I ain't saying I'm better than everybody else. I'm just saying to the people who I deal with, to the people who I mentor, to the churches that I help, the things I stand, I'm talking about them. The people that are around me, they don't see me in the spirit. But watch this. Now that stood by the cross of Jesus, his mother, and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Cleophas, and Mary Magdalene. So his mama's sister, and an ex-whore. Mm. When Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciples standing by whom he loved, he said unto his mother, Woman, behold thy son. Say, Mom. He said, Woman, behold thy son. Hmm. You know, it's difficult to see your child being beaten, being torched, being whatever they did to him, and you witness the pain, you witness the humiliation, you witness the shame, you witness the suffering, and you seeing him about to die, and you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. See, a lot of y'all that have children, you won't understand that. You won't understand it. So you don't know how far a mother would go for their child. You don't know how far a daddy can go for his child. But he said, Woman, behold your son. And we have to know when it talks about the disciple he loved, they're talking about John. See, Jesus cared for his mother to the end. So by calling her woman, it wasn't out of disrespect. It wasn't out of unconcern. He could have said, Mama. You know what he was doing? He said, even in my pain, I'm going to bring you happiness. I understood my son had to go to jail for robbing. I understood my son had to take drugs. I understood my son had to get caught with guns. I understood my son was breaking in house. But no matter what my son did, he's still my son. But if I pick up the phone and I say, What's the word for the day? He's going to tell me what's the word for the day. And watch this. He's just like his daddy. He complained about what he went through. The only thing he held on to, well, when my daddy sent me money, I'm gonna be straight. Because mama didn't send him then. Mama didn't send him then. But he know when daddy put something on the book. We talking about after paying 20 grand to a lawyer. We talking about after paying restitution. We talking about after paying probation officer. Still took care of. See, y'all got y'all children don't even know what life is. But y'all, they grown. They better figure it out. Some of y'all don't do, y'all children be in need, and all y'all think about is their age. That's all you're thinking about. When I tried that, you know what God said? He said, How old you is? I was 52 at the time. He said, Who you consider me as? I said, Father, Dad. That's the same way you got to look at your son. I don't care how old he is. I had to apologize to him. He had to apologize to him. See, and what's wrong with a lot of women, y'all want a man to teach a boy how to be a man, but you don't want a man to teach a boy how to go to God. Same with the women. The same with the women. It says from that hour, the disciple took her to his own home. Man, I was traveling today, going through my old hometown, and I know I heard God clear as day. He said, I want you to buy Josiah some shoes. Well, God, why I got to buy him some shoes? His mama said she got a man that teaching him how to be a man. Why that nigga ain't buying him some shoes? Why me? I said, I want you to buy him some shoes. Now I'm wrestling with it. See, that's why I told y'all it's okay to disagree with God, but don't disagree too long. I said, God, okay. Took a picture of him. I said, you like these, Joe? Yeah, Dad, I like them. Yeah, Dad, I like them. Yeah, Dad, I like them. See, no matter where a woman's hearts want to go, a child is always going to know what their spirit already tell them. I can't treat them like a son, but I can treat them like a child of God. That's too deep for y'all, ain't it? Because the minute y'all fall out with people, y'all cuss them out, y'all delete and block them, y'all go to line, y'all go to Facebook. See, the thing y'all got to realize, if a person in the faith, you ain't got to be married to them, nor to treat them like a person in the faith. The only difference is you go from obligation to instruction, which means if God tells you to do it, no matter what you feel, and like me, well, go get that other nigga to do it. Yeah. But they ain't got no money because I had to go down there and pay $10 for the divorce. Well, watch this. That's not an attack on the woman character or anything like that. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, you cannot obey God in anger. You can't. Wasn't mad. I was trying to debate. I said, well, this woman said this and this and this, and she got her old man now with her. Wait a minute. Never mind. I ain't gonna throw that out there. But you, why he can't? What's this? Why she can't say, "Hey, my son needs some shoes"? That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Nah. But watch this. For some of you, you got to watch what you reject doing because see some people may not hear the voice of God, and sometimes your woman or your man got a need, and it's a shame before God that God allows somebody else to feel a need and you got it in your hand. We talking about the spirit now. We talking about the spirit. See, we're gonna get in it when I get in there because I learned something. So that's what if you want to marry in this season, you better be goddamn sure that woman hear the voice of God, and you better be goddamn sure that man hear the voice of God. I ain't talking about know the word. I ain't talking about praying. I'm talking about you want some proof. Woman, behold thy son, which means behold my man, behold my woman. Then he said to the disciple, behold thy mother. And from that hour, the disciple took her unto his own home. After this, Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scripture may be fulfilled, said, I thirst. See, the problem is, before y'all entered into this rest, a lot of y'all got things y'all need to finish. So what Jesus did on the cross, watch this, watch this. Oh, there's a good one. Ooh, boy, this so good. I think I'm gonna listen here. I'm gonna buy the CD myself. Watch this. You know when you really in touch with who God made you to be. Here Jesus is in pain, and he's still providing comfort. Did y'all hear that one? Jesus in pain, still providing comfort. See, some of y'all holding on to stuff that you know you need to let go. But because you like anger, you like being depressed, you like cussing people out, you like lying on people, you can't find no peace within yourself. It's because you like holding on to pain instead of giving people comfort. But watch this. It's like having a dog. You keep that dog chained up, all right? He running around, he chained up. The dog need a little comfort every now and then. Take the chain off of me. But oftentimes, when you take the chain off the dog, but because he didn't have comfort, sometimes the dog run off. It's not because he didn't love his house, because y'all fed him, you kept him water, you give him saying you put up a little dog house, or if it rained, he got in there. The problem is, it wasn't in the comfort, it was the inconvenience in the comfort. Y'all stop trying to force people to do something that you want them to do because you'll feel comfortable when you see them doing what you want them to do. Yeah. See, watch this. That's the illustration. Go buy Joey some shoes. God, watch this. In pain is comfort. I said, okay, God, because I felt good. But that's what I think after this. So watch this. Getting to the end, Jesus said, I thirst. That's what we miss. He didn't say, I'm hurting. He didn't say, I'm bleeding. He didn't say, I'm about to die. He said, I thirst. He didn't say, my hands hurt. Watch this. He didn't say, I can't stay up here. No. He said, I thirst. But what is he thirsting for? What you thirsting for? Some of you thirsting for love, but you keep getting your heart broke. Some of you thirsting for marriage, but they always leave you at the altar. Some of you looking for marriage, and you don't even have the right one. Some of you looking for happiness, but you're making somebody else sad. Some of you looking for comfort, but you're making other people uncomfortable. You thirsty, but you don't know what you're thirsty for. Some of you thirsty for love, and you keep getting tricked out your panties. Some of you men, y'all keep getting tricked out your money. Boy, I seen something so funny. I don't know if it's real or not. It was talking about some online dating. And I guess the girl and her boyfriend setting it up. And he just sent her a cash app and this and this and this and that. And then he came over to the house, all right, with some pizza and a flower. So the boyfriend was looking at the camera. He said, "Who is you?" Well, this such and such. Nigga, we just making a fool out of you. Who you bought flowers too? You dummy, you got flowers. Put that pizza down. Send us another $100. I'm gonna expose you. Oh, you real freaking them coming. I'm laughing, but I'm looking at the seriousness of it. because that's how men that got robbed and shot a few times. Thirsty. And the reason a lot of your thirst can't get quenched is because you're going the wrong way. Why you think I asked you what's your go-to when you're going through it? See, you hurt, you got to quickly find a man. Well, what y'all do? Y'all go to the with Cinco de Mayo, you go down to the late night juke joints. Maybe you go out of town. Some of y'all might just go to the hotel room and see when you're in pain. The reason some of you aren't going to get what you want is because when you're in pain, you don't want people to know it exists, so you're thirsty. Yeah, that's why y'all look. That's that's why when women leave their man or husband, whatever, go look at them. Oh, they got them things all up. They buy tight stuff. They changing the way they dress. They hurt. Some of them, they say, cut their hair off, and what y'all do, y'all put that blood in there, red or whatever. That's what they say. What a man do? He immediately go find another woman. And for some of you, you so tore up, you don't want people to know how dark your heart really is. That's why I told you 3 days ago. When God showed me that picture of that, I don't ask God to show me nobody heart. I've been talking against that. But when I was laying in that bed, and he said, look at here. And I seen this heart with 4 black worms coming out of it. And he said, not me, he said, these are the hearts of the people around you. Fix it. Only way I fix it is by preaching the gospel. But some of you heart is so messed up, you don't want to be fixed. You don't want to be fixed because you self-heal, you self-accomplish, you selfish. And that that worm that was named love, it was feeding bitterness, unforgiveness, and hatred. So watch this. A lot of the love that y'all saying y'all give, it ain't real. Who you is? Ain't my business to say nothing. But I know what it. Why would God do that? Because I told y'all we building a spiritual heart, and ain't nobody with no messed up heart gonna be around me. Well, why? Man. So watch this. You got to understand that some of y'all thirsty for something and you don't even know how to drink it. You don't know how to drink it. We're talking about the spirit. The Bible says, no man after the flesh. You cannot dictate a spiritual man's movement because it's moved by the Spirit of God. And y'all sitting around here trying to dictate when, where, how, and all you doing is activating the Spirit. But if you had the Spirit, you would activate. That's how I know some of you ain't got that real Holy Spirit. You know, some of you didn't vex your Holy Spirit because your heart so bad, you don't listen to reason, you listen to your emotions. Yeah, so you're thirsty, huh? Okay, well, why you thirsty, Jesus? It said, now there was set a vessel full of vinegar, and they filled a sponge with vinegar and put it on upon hyssop and put it to his mouth. When Jesus therefore had received the vinegar, he said, it is finished, bowed his head, and gave up the ghost. Dun, 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 dun. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the dating game? That's that old rap. Dun, 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 dun. And it hit that trigger man. Now I'm finna make y'all mad. That's why I said that. Watch this. Sour wine. See, when the Bible tells you that what Christ did was nothing coming to man, sour wine, as it states, was coming to the soldiers. The reason it was coming to the soldiers is that uh, 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 is that it was watered down, all right? So it wouldn't be wasteful. So it was plentiful, all right? So watch this. It wasn't at full strength, all right? You got to understand, thirst is a common place of misery. But every time some of you get upset, you get thirsty. Some of y'all go eat, you get thirsty. But he could have said everything but I thirst. All right. So God allowed Christ to experience the refreshments that was common to a soldier. Coming to a soldier. So what they did, they put it on hyssop. What also did they put on hyssop? It was the blood of the Passover lamb. So when he said I thirst, that means the worst over. The reason some of you still in pain is because you're trying to numb your pain with everything but what brought you pain. See, that's why, even dealing with some of you personally, that's why some of you had to go back home and get it right. Because you were numbing your pain with the very thing that caused you pain. See, I think because you avoid people, you block them on social media, you bash them, you defy, you think the pain over. Until you recognize the pain, you will never hear God's voice in its entirety. What you hearing is your own made up mind. Because Jesus went through something. He bore the pain. So what happens if Christ bore the pain to get on the cross? When you deny the pain, you are denying the work of God. That's why I wasn't ashamed when I was doing my thing and I was going teaching this gospel and I was going through that done divorce. Then I tell you, I said, y'all, I said, I'm telling God to sit me down. I said, it's too much for me. I said, I ain't never been through this. I said, I'm ashamed. I said, I told y'all what I was. But what also did I say? He said, keep going. What's wrong with some of y'all? Pain shut you down. Don't nobody care about no man break your heart. Don't nobody care about you done lost your job. Take your pain to God so he can heal it. And that's what's wrong. See, that's why when we go into the spiritual ark, we can't have no pain. That's where the rest come in at. And some of y'all still in pain because you using other people to patch up your hurt and you ain't dealt with it yourself. That's why you go from man to man. That's why you go from woman to woman. That's why you don't hear a confident in God's voice because you don't want to grab another man, another woman to ease the pain because you will hide the pain. So now you got to play happy. And the minute they don't do something that you like, red flag, you gone again. Ain't no such thing as red flag in dating if you got the Holy Spirit. Because ain't none righteous, none number one. So why you gonna put a red flag and you a believer and it tell you none righteous? God dog, it gonna be red flags. But you gotta that's why I call it a red flag, y'all understand? If you cover with the blood, you'll know how to flag up there. What you wanna do? What you wanna do? I'm 30. Now, sponge with hyssop, the sour vinegar. The hyssop is a small bushy aromatic plant of the mint family, the bitter minted leaves of which are used in cooking and herbal medicine. So you to put this vinegar tasting wine on the mint brush, we'll say mint brush, on a sponge, on the mint, and put it to his mouth. See, the worst was over. He endured the pain. See, he thirsted because his next word was in finish. See, anytime you in pain, your voice get raspy. He wanted everybody to hear it is finished. So watch this. You got sour vinegar with a minute taste. He telling you until you taste the sweetness of the pain you had to go through, you will never know it's finished because that's why some of you in cycles. Now y'all been see why I've been telling y'all watch your pattern. And the only way you know that it's not a pattern, or if it is a pattern, is that you have been finished yourself. Why you think I know what to say when to say it? Sometimes I ain't gonna say that because you gotta develop a relationship with God. This is a good one. I ain't making fun, but it was a good one. Somebody called me today, they fasted. They fasted for this person, they self and this person. And I laughed. I said, let me know how that gonna work out. Or something like that. I said, what you mean? I said, all three of y'all broken. I said, who gonna heal who? You got to be delivered yourself before you can deliver somebody else. They said, oh, I didn't know that. How? See, fasting is for healing. It ain't to get no money. It ain't to get no man. It ain't to get this prosperity angel. I hear you. What did it say? What is it? Isaiah 58? Is that it? Let me see. In Isaiah 58, that's all you need for fasting. Isaiah started out, he said, show the people their transgressions. He talks about they delight in approaching me. Some people fast like it's a tradition. Well, I'm gonna do a 3 day fast. I'm gonna do a 7 day fast. I need to lose weight. I'm gonna do a midday fast. That ain't what the Bible say, you fools. Ain't no such thing as no Daniel fast. Because Daniel was fasting. He was in mourning, you dummies. Y'all have made it. All you had to do was go to Isaiah 58:1. Y'all have made every kind of fast but the right fast. And that's what the book of Isaiah was for. He said, why have you afflicted your souls and you take no notice? Which means you don't even know you wrong. You just fasted because that's what pastor told you. That what the prophet told you. But God gets down and fast. He said, is this the fast I chose? You got you got leaders calling corporate fast. They don't even got a relationship with God. You do know a corporate fast is dangerous, don't you? Because see, just like witches and warlock, oftentimes they ask you to fast because that's what they use to infiltrate your spirit. But that's something whole new. We over here in 19. We just had to go and throw that in there. See, that's why we preaching into August. Because some of you, if if you don't admit that you hurt, if you don't seek him, ain't nothing wrong with going to get a therapist. Brother Hubbard went and got, man, I went years. You need to go see a therapist. It wasn't not till I was getting divorced. He said, now go see a therapist. Hear God's voice. That's what people told me, but I hear God's voice. Man, boy, I told that lady, listen here, before I even got the words out, I was crying like a baby. Couldn't even talk. So she got me that first day. I knocked it off. We went to talking. With dog, Mr. Hubbard, you get amazing revelation. Well, how did you learn that? I didn't tell I was a preacher, no prophet, or nothing. I'm just talking to him. Because God know me. I'm more spiritual than I am carnal. All I need to know from her was give me a name to it, and I'm gonna know what's wrong with me. That's all we did. But boy, I started putting it on. You should that darn lady, y'all ever had them therapists, they be wanting to cry and can't cry. The last time I talked to her, I tore her head up. She had me do some kind of exercise. It was something about being on you know, being on one of them boards. What y'all know what it is when y'all get on them boards and y'all be out there, paddle boarding, whatever it is. And she said, I want to look at this and close your eyes and tell me and tell me what's going on. I said, she said, so did it do any good? I said, no. She said, I said, no. She said, what you seen? We was talking about anger and how I get angry. And I said, I was on the whatever the third thing called. And I said, usually you go out there and you try to catch the wave. I said, but I said the wave never came to me. I was just sitting there waiting. I said I was sitting, and instead of going out to the wave was coming back from it somehow, spirit. Why did it do that? I said, I keep telling you. I said, people don't make me angry. I said, I play angry to make them angrier. Yeah. Well, Brother Hubbard, that ain't nice. Not Brother Hubbard. She said, Mr. Hubbard, that ain't nice. I said, I know it ain't. That's why I'm asking you, what is that called? She had a name for it. I said, okay, I don't need you no more. But boy, I had that lady head tore up. Some of you so bruised that the way that you move to deal with pain, you don't know you hurt. And see, some of you using your hurt for attention. Some of you use your hurt to badmouth and detach for others because you got to make them out to be a demon so you can live your life in peace, knowing you was the one that did wrong. So until, watch this, until you understand pain is not your enemy, you ain't gonna be able to give up the ghost. When the ghost gone, the flesh still here. What does that mean? That means everything Jesus accomplished, set out to accomplish in the spirit, he finished it. A lot of you are not connected in the spirit. That's why you hurting like you hurting. That's why you done went from man to man and woman for woman. That's why you keep looking for love. You don't even know what it is. But guess what? God does.